classic games aren't always the most original games. In 1984, for example, arcades all over the world received an influx of classic games from Nintendo. Ice Climber, Punch-Out, Duck Hunt, all classic games, and to varying degrees, all original ideas. Of course, the company's greatest invention was still a year away, but in 1984, Nintendo thought up one creative game concept after another. And then they tied some balloons to the guy from Joust. Balloon Fight has become a classic in its own right over time, but when discussing its origins, it's impossible to ignore the elephant in the room, especially when it's got a few 800-pound balloons attached to its back. Balloon Fight is basically a Nintendo knockoff of the 1982 classic Joust. There, I said it, and now that we've reiterated the obligatory criticisms of the game's copycat design, it's important to remember that Balloon Fight didn't just copy Joust, it also improved upon it. With more levels, better layouts, and a unique flying mode, Balloon Fight made enough subtle tweaks to set itself apart from the Williams classic. You play Balloon Fight as a hero with 2 balloons and no name, which is one of gaming's greatest tragedies. But your objective is to hover around the screen and pop the balloons that keep your enemies afloat. After they parachute to the ground, a second touch knocks them off the screen. Once their balloons are popped and heads are stomped, you move on to the next level, and like many arcade games, you play as long as you can before your own balloons are deflated as well. It's a simple concept, and yeah, it's a lot like Joust, but the addictive nature of its gameplay makes Balloon Fight enjoyable all the same, as do the physics it employs. Whether flapping your arms or drifting toward a defenseless enemy with a parachute, Balloon Fight has a fluid physics system based on momentum, a notable trait for a game almost 3 decades old. In fact, to this day, that's what makes Balloon Fight such an interesting game to play. Mastering the game means mastering those physics and learning when to flap, when to float, and when to create some space. And obviously, that can be very challenging. So is the Balloon Trip, incidentally, a unique survival mode that has you collect as many balloons as possible while avoiding massive fish and lightning bolts with just one freaking life. Balloon Fight was ported to the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1986, where its fantastic 2-player mode made it a console classic. That's the version we're playing here in its original cartridge form, but it's also available on the Wii's Virtual Console. Whichever version you play, you're getting more than just a Nintendo version of Joust. Rewarding to play and an NES classic, if only for its multiplayer, Balloon Fight proves that sometimes elevating a derivative game into a classic just takes a couple of twists and a little helium.